What's going on, family? Yours truly, Antoine Bethea. Got my co-host, D. Butt.
Yes, sir.
Man, today, man, we got a special guest, 757 legend, Michigan State alum, Super Bowl champ, man, Plaxico Burress, man. What's good, bro? How you doing?
Oh, man, everything is beautiful, man. You know, the weather may not be beautiful, but, you know, life is good, man. But, you know how that go.
Yeah, for sure,
Absolutely.
man. Definitely appreciate you stopping by the show, man, and rapping with us, man.
Right.
Shit, man, we wanna jump right into it, man. From the 757 with the high school and Vibe Beach, man. Kind of tell us about your upbringing, man. Like, was football your only sport growing up? I'm pretty sure you probably played basketball. Like, how was that growing up in the 757?
Oh, man, believe it or not, man, growing up, baseball was the first sport I ever played.
Baseball.
Yeah, crazy, right? A lot of people wouldn't believe it, but, I attribute that to, to developing like a crazy hand-eye coordination, as a youngin', like growing up. So I started playing baseball. I was pretty good at that or whatever. And my mom, when I was like, I was 7 years old. We didn't have a car at the time, and one of her friends came and picked us up. I was living in Plaza Apartments, the zoo. If anybody know about the zoo, it's crazy place. They call it the zoo for the reason. And so my mom, we pulled up in her friend's car, and she's like, "Get out, go play football." I never really played football in my life. And she's like, "We'll be back later to come pick you up." And as she came and picked me back up, she said, "How'd you like it?" I was like, "I love it." And that was 7
What
years.
position?
Oh, man.
What position you started out at?
They just put me out there. They put me out at running back. If they kept throwing me the ball out of the backfield, they were like, "Nah, man, we got to put you out there on the edge so you can catch some of these rocks."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
saying?
Yeah. So, so, my mom's favorite football team back then was the Washington football team.
Yeah.
And, growing up, I used to always see this cat out there, number 81. He had skin looked like mine, tall, lanky, had the Jerry curl. And it was a great Art Monk.
Great.
And my mom was a crazy, Washington fan at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Yo, man, I just, I wanted to be like that guy." Because he was always jumping up in the air and diving around and catching balls and, scoring touchdowns. And I remember my first game, my flag football game, like the first play of the game. Man, the dude threw me like a little 5-yard out route. And I went like 80 yards down the field.
Yeah.
I know, right? And I looked beside me, and my mom was running faster than I was. I was like, "Yo, this is crazy." I was like, "You know what, man? If this right here, what I do, man, gets people that excited." And from that day on, man, I was like, "Yeah, this is what I want to do." But I played basketball in high school. I was nominated McDonald's All-American, but I didn't make the team.
Okay.
But, I always tell people that. But that '96 basketball class with all those guys, Mateen and Kobe, Lester Earl. I mean, I was just.
Was that the same year Bubba Chuck came out?
No, Chuck came out in 95.
95.
Yeah. 95. Okay.
Yeah, he
Georgetown. Yeah.
Yeah, he a year older than me. So I came out that '96 class of McDonald's All-American, and I was the number one player, wide receiver in the nation in football, basketball, but I just kind of just stuck with the football. So I wish I would have kept playing baseball. My freshman year. You know what I mean? I could be standing in right field with a back pocket full of sunflower seeds, getting that
sunflower seeds, chilling. Whoa.
Yeah.
So you stopped playing baseball when you was 7, right?
No, man, I played baseball all the way up the ranks until my freshman year in high school. So I'm a freshman in high school. I'm starting right field as a freshman. And my high school coach was the track coach at the time. So he walks over there, He's like, yo, man, I don't know why you wasting your time playing baseball. You should be, working on your pride and all that for football. So I quit.
Mm-hmm.
Man. And you look back at it, and I was starting on a baseball team that was so good that they won like three state championships in a row.
Damn.
And I was starting on that baseball team, and that's how I
was a freshman.
And I was a freshman. Yeah. So, yeah, man. So,
I wish somebody put a slug in my hand when I was a jit. But, I said, I wish somebody put a Louisville slug in my hand when I was a kid. Boy.
No,
I ain't gonna front because I played for a little bit, but it got a little crazy about 10 years old when them curveballs, knuckleballs started coming. Boy jumping out that box. I got hit by one, two times. It was like, man, that's a wrap for me. I'm gonna go on this hardwood, get this basketball and this football, and I'm good.
I know, man. The crazy about it right now is that, I try to get my son to play baseball. He played like 2 or 3 years in a row, and it's just something that they haven't gravitated to.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's one of the things I think, like in the hood and in the areas that I grew up, baseball is becoming like a lost sport because you have to have like so many people to get together to be able to play it.
Yep.
Especially like in the hood and the black communities and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those things that the kids are running away from because of where they're living at or where they're coming up at. But I would love to see more of us play baseball.
Yeah, just be exposed and had the opportunity, man.
Right.
That shit, it's an expensive sport too, with the traveling, and all of that too. It's expensive. So like you said, a lot of cats, coming from neighborhoods we grew up in, we just don't got the finances or the funds to even manage that. You know what I mean?
And to them, it's boring. You know what I mean? It ain't like that instant big play on the football field, kick return, interception, or that dunk or whatever. To them, it's boring. I'm like, no, man, that's the beauty of the sport. Baseball is not one of those games where, you have a lucky career or you get lucky. Like, you actually have to be able to play, you know what I'm saying, to go out and have success on the baseball down in there because you don't just get lucky out there. You actually got to be able to play.
Yeah, that shit is hard. It's hard to be especially us. Like, we got a lot of energy. Like, basketball, it's back and forth. It's up and down. I got the ball. I'm playing defense. I'm doing something. Football, same thing. Baseball, like you said, you could be a right field standing with some sunflower seeds in your back pocket. But looking at it long game, that's probably one of the best avenues. But I could definitely see how, our Jets not attracted to it. That's probably why I wasn't thinking about it when I was young either. Outside of not having equipment or a baseball diamond, or even, I don't even know, in the hood, like you always got coaches and old heads recruiting you to play football, basketball, but you don't never had nobody, hey, come join the baseball team. So definitely some things we can do a better job exposing these kids, man.
Yeah, maybe some we all need to get together in our hoods and start like programs for them so they can see it.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be a bad idea,
at all.
Looking at it like that, yeah.
Yeah, at all. We could definitely find some ways, man. Do you still follow it now? Baseball?
No, I don't follow it as much as I used to, but hey man, I'm always a baseball. I go to about 4 or 5 Yankee games a year. When David Wright, who from North, he from the VA area, he was playing with me. He come check me out, watch me play. I used to go over there like 3-4 games a year. So I go to about 4 or 5 games a year. I tell my son, I'm like, yo, man, look, I got front row seats to the Yankees. He's like, nah.
Yeah. Straight.
It's the Yankees. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's the Yankees. And I mean, you just don't know how good you got it, man. You don't want to go to the Yankees.
And some of it too, man, is them old rules, them unwritten rules. It's just the kind of, how they don't like. I think it was Tatis Jr. last year. He hit the ball and maybe did a backflip or did something. Hit a home run when they were up probably 11 runs. Just they have a bunch of stupid rules. Cats ain't really be trying to rock with, but we'll see. So obviously, you went to high school, quit the baseball team, 9th grade. Or went straight football.
Yeah.
Football and basketball. So how did that recruit? When did you start like opening the eyes of the big time recruits? Big time coaches.
I would, it's crazy because my sophomore year, I went out for the football team. I basically was just, I was going out playing football because everybody in my neighborhood was doing it, all my boys was doing it. So, I was playing football. So my sophomore year, I quit the football team. I walked off in training camp. I'm 2 days. I'm like, man, look, man, this shit ain't for me, man. I'm a basketball player. At the time, I was already at about 6'4". I was probably about 160 pounds, maybe.
Yeah.
So, I quit the football team, and my high school coach come to the house. I'm living in Twickenham at the time. He come to my house, and he was like, "Why you quit?" I said, "Look, man, I don't want to play football, man. I'm a basketball player, right?" And so my mom was like, "Why you quit?" I was like, "Yo, I just don't want to play no more. I'm gonna just concentrate on basketball, just do my thing." And my high school coach was like, "Look, man," he said, "How many basketball players are 6'4", 6'5", 6'6"?" I said, "A lot of them." He said, "How many wide receivers 6'4", 6'5", 6'6"? I was like, and he was like, "That's my point." And I was like, "All right, man, whatever." So I went back and played, and I think it's no lie, I caught like 24 passes my sophomore year, and and it was 18 touchdowns on 24 catches. Right. So everything I'm playing, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to the crib.
Yeah.
So that season go by, and we get into some trouble or whatever into my sophomore year. Last day of school, matter of fact, I get like caught like trespassing like another school in Tallwood, Chesapeake, or whatever. So the first day of my junior year in high school, I get sent to in-school suspension for ISS. Yeah. Meanwhile, I got my brand new cross-color outfit on. I got the 54 levels on. I'm clean. Cross-colors. I'm clean. So my high school coach is the ISS coordinator. He's like, "Damn, man, you got ISS on the first day of school."
First day of school, right?
Man, this happened last year. So he said, "I'm gonna show you something." So ain't nobody in the ISS but me and him. So I got the lecture the whole day, and so those little those white postal joints that that come from the post office. He put that joint on the desk in front of me, and I'm like, "What's this?" He said, "I want you to open every one of these letters and read them." I'm like, "Man, whatever." So in my mind, I'm not even really understanding like my own potential at the time. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. This is the current situation I'm dealing with at home. This is where I'm living at. Don't nobody make it out of where I come from. It's like, everybody's hope, dreams is to go, but nobody never really makes it.
Nobody really make it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I open up these letters, man. There's North Carolina, Notre Dame, Florida State, USC, UCLA, Penn State, Michigan. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm saying to myself, I'm like, yo, I ain't even that good. I don't even know why they want me.
Right.
I don't know why they want me. And my coach, he gives me this, this parade, All-American, and remember the parade in the Scholastic Sports Zoo?
Yeah.
Hey, you my age. Don't act like you don't know.
Nah, shit, don't. And you got me about a few years, big bro. Shit.
This is pre-internet, man.
So he had me. It's pre-internet. I'm like the number one wide receiver in the country. I'm like, man, I don't even want to play football. So then I think right then I understood. I was like, damn, I ain't even do nothing last year. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's when I knew I was
18 touchdowns.
Yeah, I started taking it.
UConn wasn't in there, damn.
Yo, I started taking it serious. And it's so crazy, man. I had never been on an airplane before. I had never left the state of Virginia. And I'm a junior in high school. So you see, tell you what I'm gonna do. My coach got me a plane ticket to go to Gainesville to watch Tennessee and the Gators in the swamp. Man, I had never left the state of Virginia. I had never been on a plane or nothing. I get to Gainesville, and Peyton Manning's a quarterback. Meanwhile, you got, Riedel Anthony and Jaquez and Ike Hilliard and Chris Dorn, all these dudes is playing wide receiver.
It was special in the SEC right then.
Facts.
Joey Kent, and I'm like, man. And I was like, yo, I don't think these dudes better than me right now. Right? So I get there, I walk down on the field, and my heart like jump out of my chest. And I'm like, oh, shit. Like, I couldn't believe the amount of people that was in this venue.
Yeah.
So, we don't see stuff like that in Virginia. I know I heard stories of high school games in Texas, 10, 20,000, whatever.
Yeah.
It was getting 2,500 at the most. And
that's
was
a big
it.
game.
That's a big game, 3,000 people. So I walk over to Steve Spurrier.
90,000.
Yeah, I walk over to Steve Spurrier. And I said, man, so you mean to tell me that if I go play football here or anywhere else, he'd be like, all these people gonna show up every Saturday? He said, yo, they're gonna be here every weekend. I gotta get out of it. I gotta go. It's time for me to go. And that trip right there, man, saved my life, for the better. Because at the time, man, I had like a 1.6 point grade point average. I couldn't go to Norfolk. I couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, yo, man, you're number one wide receiver in the country. You got a 1.6 grade point average. You can't go nowhere right now. So he sent me on that to see it, man, and saved my life. And when I came back to school that Monday, I made the honor roll for the rest of the year. Just to prove a point to be like, yo, it's a lot of it's a bigger things out, man, outside of my hood and outside of Virginia. And what they do, I don't want to do it no more. I'm out of here.
and that's real, because I think a lot of times that's what somebody needs, is be able to see something outside of their comfort zone.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So when you were saying like that was your first time out of your hood, out of the state of Virginia, now you seeing what's available to you outside of that. You know what I mean? Where you say, you growing up every day, you're not seeing a NFL player, you're not seeing an NBA player, you seeing what you seeing. And 9 times out of 10, it's the dope boy in the corner or whatever the case may be. So I think that's the most important thing. Giving these youngins some resources to be able to see what's out there and available to them. You know what I mean?
Especially at that age, because that's that age time where you can go left or right. You know what I mean? Especially a lot of communities be coming from, and there's certain people in your life. A lot of time it's coaches, man. Them coaches be so important, who could just sit you down, literally set you down at ISS and showed you your potential. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times we don't even see that potential in ourselves. So for him, y'all, y'all still close? Y'all still got a relationship?
Oh, man, he been like a father figure to me, man, ever since, man. He saw something in me when I ain't even see it in myself. So, he was when we made it to the Super Bowl. He was the first person I picked up the phone and called. I was like, yo, man, y'all get on the plane. Come on out here and check it out, man. You're a part of it. And I think what he did for me, man, is that I'm one of the few stories of guys who could have done the same thing, but they didn't have somebody that really cared about them and to really show them something different. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure, like I'm like AB, man. It's a lot of high school, backyard legends from where we're from, man, and it's just
everywhere.
Crazy. You just sit there and you think about, all the talents you saw growing up. Just, they just hood legends, and still to this day, man, I'm still, and we talking about from 1996 for me to go to college. We're talking about 25 to 6 years ago, still the only person from my neighborhood to go to college. And that's something that we've been trying to change for a long time, but that's just how it is. And it shows you how tough it is for kids like myself and kids growing up in my neighborhood to make it out. You're talking about 24 years ago.
Yeah, that's Yeah, that's crazy, man. So a lot of it is systemic, man, and the opportunities that are around us, the resources, et cetera, et cetera. That's why it's so important, man. When you are in a position to give back and help in any way that we can, that we doing it, man. So yeah, that's crazy. So so you get to you're doing your thing. Obviously, everybody wants you now. So you get to the point where you really at that stage where you got to pick schools, going on visits, talking to coaches, et cetera, et cetera. How did that process go? How did you end up in Michigan State?
Man, that's what I want to know.
It's one of the crazy things you would never believe, man. So, I was a wide receiver, so I wanted to go to Florida. I fell in love with, the Gators and Steve Spurrier. And look, they throwing the ball 40, 50 times a game. If I'm a wide receiver, that's where I want to be. When I went on my visit, I had met Fred Taylor and Javon Kerr. So we was all, we was pretty still tight. And for them to be talking to me when I was in high school, calling long distance to talk to me, that's a big deal for a kid, man, when you can turn the television and see these boys playing on TV. On Saturday, and here I am having conversations with them during the week, like, yo, man, we can't wait till you get here. So I signed the intent to go to Florida. And I don't know if it's still a record. I think we had 9 guys from that team, from my high school team. We lost to I believe it was Indian River, like in the state, to lose that game, like on the last play of the game, which is still a scar. So
some of them blows you'll never get over.
Oh man, you'll never get over. So
the river was nice back then too.
I know. What was I saying, man? That threw me off, man.
No. You was talking about Freddie T.
So Freddie T. Vaughn. And so we signed 9 players to go Division 1A on National Signing Day, I think, and in the nation. That was a record at the time. Meanwhile, we only had 22 players on my football team. Wow. Everybody played both ways.
That's crazy.
And out of those 22 guys, 9 of them Division 1. I'm talking about Florida, Virginia Tech, Virginia, Clemson, Carolina.
Big schools.
Yeah. Big out of 22 of them, 9 went Division 1. I think it was a national record for signing day at the time. So I signed to go to Florida. I come back to school, and I make the honor roll, but I don't pass my SATs.
Mm-hmm.
So at the time, the SEC didn't accept partial qualifiers. That whole scale of if you needed you had 2.0, you needed like 40 or 90.
SAT had to be higher.
Yeah.
That's sliding scale.
So I didn't pass my SATs. And they was like, yo, man, you can't go to the SEC until you pass your SATs. And I was like, damn. All right, what I'm gonna do? They was like, yo, you're gonna have to go to prep school or something, or you can prop and go to Michigan or whatever. And I was like, fuck that, man. I want to go to Florida. So I went to Fort Union Military Academy up in Virginia. And so I go from that. So I think, man, it's kind of, to me, it was embarrassing, because here I was, number 1 wide receiver in the country. I look up, Dre Bly, D-Mac, David Macklin, Aaron Brooks, all these kids from my area who we grew up playing against each other. They on TV.
Yeah.
And everybody looking around like, yo, like where Plex at? I'm up in the West Hills of Virginia. Trying to get my scores and shit right. So I passed the SAT, and I was like, "Yo, man, I'm ready to go." And Florida didn't have any scholarships left, because once I didn't sign on that national day of intent, my scholarship was taken away.
Mm-hmm.
And they was like, "So what you want to do?" And I was like, well, I can't go to the SEC. And I was like, I'm not going to Penn State, because they ain't throwing the ball over there. That's like running back and linebacker heaven.
Yeah.
And if you know anything about the ACC, you can forget it. I was never qualified to get into the ACC. So I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go to Michigan, and I took my visit to Michigan State, man. And I got there, and it was just man, it was the best decision I ever made. Because when I went on my visit, my mom was like, how you like it? I was like, yo, man, it feel like home. And
that was Nick Saban, the coach?
Yeah, Saban was a coach.
Mm-hmm.
Saban was a coach. And when I get there, the NCAA declared me ineligible.
Damn.
Sick, yo. You talking about sick? So they declared me ineligible because the prep school that I went to, Fort Union, is a year program. I pulled out mid-semester in January, in December, January, that whole turn of Christmas, and Michigan State bought me to East Lansing. And when I got there, they declared me ineligible. Said, no, you're supposed to stay in that prep school for a whole year, which they didn't even know, because if they knew that, they wouldn't have bought me out early.
Yeah.
Right.
But I was ready to go. They declared me ineligible. So then again, I still don't have a scholarship. They said declares me ineligible.
So you just out there.
Scholarship. I'm just out there.
And now you out of prep school.
I ain't got no preps. I'm not in prep school. I ain't got no scholarship. I ain't got no dough. I got nothing. I'm way in East Lansing, Michigan. Nothing. I'm out there naked, yo.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got a coat. I ain't got a pair of boots. I ain't got nothing. It's freezing. So I go to I take out all this financial aid or whatever. I didn't have housing. I didn't have nothing, yo. Man, for a whole calendar year from January to January, I slept on the floor at Robert Smith Room and Sean Wright. I slept on the floor for a whole calendar year from January to January because I didn't have a scholarship.
Wow, that's crazy.
And I had to pass 24 credits in that calendar year, January to January, to be eligible for spring ball.
So they let you enroll in school?
Nope, I was a Prop 48. The only way I could get in school was to be a Prop 48.
All right, so you gotta explain to us what a Prop 48 is, because I done heard it before, but I don't know exactly what it is.
Man, a Prop 48 is basically they are just going off of your just potential.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have a scholarship. Yeah. You don't have any money. You basically don't have any housing. You're basically on your own until you pass your credits to get your scholarship renewed or to gain a scholarship.
Or to get one, yeah.
So all you can do is really just take out financial need to get your books, to pay for your own housing, to feed yourself clothes. There's nothing for you when you're a Prop 48, because you don't have, to them, you don't have the grade point average, and you don't have the GPA
test score
to even be enrolled in the university. But if it's a sports program that thinks that highly of you, they'll give you an opportunity to enroll you in school, but you basically gotta pay for everything while you're there. And that's exactly what I did. And I took out so much financial aid, man. It was disgusting, man.
You got 24 credits on top of that. That ain't no
joke. You gotta pass 24 credits, right? And so I just got out of military school. It was all dudes, she got the joints walking around. I'm from the crib. I'm like, I'm wide open. I'm like, put the Prop 48 shit. I'm here.
I'm about you.
So the spring semester go by, I passed 8 credits. They was like, yo,
one ain't gonna cut it, bro. This ain't gonna do it.
I passed basketball, bowling, whatever. That was like 3 credits right there, right?
Oh man, he said, I'm about you, man.
I remember Sherry Goodman, the academic advisor. She bought me, and she was like, yo, man, look, man, you passed 8 credits in the spring. What the hell was you doing? I don't know. She said, look, you're gonna have to stay here for summer school. If you don't pass 16 credits in the fall, by the spring, you going back home. And I say, man, if I go back home, my mom will kill me.
Facts.
Right.
So I got myself together, man. I ended up passing the credits. But yeah, man, for that whole year, man, I slept on the floor, in North Case and then in Cherry Lane, because I didn't have money for housing or nothing. Like Robert, Mateen, Mo Pete, they give me, $10, $20 or whatever. I was living in Burger King eating the 2 for 2s, walking to Wendy's or whatever it may be, man. But hey, them boys really took care of me. And the thing about the Prop 48, was that I wasn't affiliated with the football team. I couldn't go in there and work out. I couldn't go to the facility. I couldn't go to the locker room. I couldn't lift weights. So I played basketball with the basketball team every day to stay in shape.
I was about to say, I kept your ass in some shape though. That's
I
like basketball shape.
I was playing with the team like Coach Izzo and Mateen, and he was like, "Yo, Plex, you Michael Red this week. Shoot it when you get it. Yo, Plex, you Rip Hamilton. Shoot it when you get it. Yo, Plex, you Khalid Elamine. Shoot it when you get it." Like I was a scout for the basketball team.
Yeah.
And these boys won a national championship.
Yeah, them boys real deal.
Yeah. And I was playing basketball with them. The only place I could go was to work out was at the basketball gym because I couldn't go play football, so I played basketball with them. And that's how all of us became tight.
That's crazy. Was you out there holding your own? Was you out there getting baked?
I mean, I would have been the first man off the bench. I mean, I'm not gonna just jump out the window and say I was a starter, but it makes me realize, man, playing basketball with those cats every day, man, just how good them dudes really is, man. It's a special talent to be how great they are playing basketball. I mean, these boys had tremendous skill. I was just an all-around athlete.
Mm-hmm.
You think you got hops, whatever. I had like a little 37, 38 vertical.
That's like D-Buck. That's like D-Buck. He got long arms, so he think he can ball. So
I was out there holding my own, cuz.
Look, hey, for me to have a 37-inch vertical at 6'6",
6'4",
on the football field, that's pretty. That my range is incredible. But when you out there with cats that's 6'8", 6'9", and they got 40 and 42s. When you go to think about going to get the rebound, they already got it. You like, damn,
they already up there, yeah.
Like, yo, these dudes getting up off the floor.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stick to the football. This ain't it.
See that conversation your coach had with you in high school, I had the opposite conversation. He was like,
I'm glad I did play football.
I mean, 5'10". Yeah. How many 5'10" cats playing basketball? I'm like, shit, I don't know. I'm nice though, coach. I'm to the leg. Hey, how many 5'10" corners going to college for free? Like, shit, you got a point. So I ain't played football till my junior year. So I had that same conversation in reverse, but shit, it worked out.
That's real because D-Butt had the same jump too. 5'9", 5'10". It was like, bro, you about to go to college and not make your parents pay for this tuition. And you chasing these hoop dreams. But what that do for your mental though, Plax? Like I know you touched on it, but I just feel as though that whole year, like you said, you sleeping on the floor, like mentally, like what did that do for you when you did get that opportunity and that chance to, get back on that field?
Oh man, it was killing me, man, because I was basically my back was against the wall. I was sleeping on the floor at Robert's crib and dorm, and when football season came around, I think that's what hurt me the most. Because I got like one ticket to go to a game, and like somebody give me a ticket or whatever, and I had to go sit in the stands. I couldn't be on the sideline, and I'd be in the stand watching the game. And everybody like, yo, man, I thought you supposed to be out there playing with them. I'd be like, next year, and just watching the game, from the stand, like it really just lit a fire in me. And to know that, I was supposed to be out there and I was really like bullshitting around, wasting my time, not doing what I was supposed to be doing and not, being responsible enough to be playing football. And I was like, just sitting there watching the opportunity. Like, oh man, I gotta get my shit together, man. And I just really buckled down and I said, yo, when I get out there, the wheels coming off. Everybody. And that spring turned around, man, and I played in that first spring game, and it was 13, 185, and 3, and I never looked back after that.
That's what's up, man. I already know you had that. Like you said, when I get out there, hey, it's gonna be hell.
Man, starving.
Who was the quarterback out there?
We had a left-hand dude, man. His name was Bill Burke. You know, he didn't really have a strong arm, but you know, he was a great anticipator. He was crazy accurate. You know, he didn't have a real strong arm. He had that little lofty, you know, kind of ball. He had like that Chad Pennington kind of you know what I mean? He wasn't really he had that rocket arm, but he was smart. And you know, I don't know if you know, but you know, catching balls from a left-handed quarterback, the ball always got like that little tail on it, like at the end.
Little different spin. So that's a real thing, huh?
Yeah, man, it's a real thing, man. It really is. But he was a good quarterback, man, and we set records that you know they still stand to this day. And I was only there for 2 years, man.
2 years, yeah. So you went there 2 years. Go ahead, bro. My fault.
No. Go ahead.
No, I was about to because I was about to go to the kind of the draft, that process.
Right.
Now I was gonna say you played 2 years, 2-time, all Big Ten. So you jumped on the stage, did your thing, and we can kind of just roll into what what D Butt was going to mention as far as just the whole draft process, like how that go for you. What was they saying? Like, you know, what other receivers was coming out that year?
Yeah, I still had 1 more year left.
Top 10.
Yeah, I had 1 more year left.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I had to make a decision based off of I solely just made the decision based off of like, you know, how my mom was living at the time. I mean, I would have liked to stay because, you know, I wanted to do things like go to the Rose Bowl, be a Heisman, you know, candidate. I was upset that I had lost the Bolitnikov that year to it was me, Peter Ward, and my boy from Stanford. We both lost to him, so I was upset about that. And so I wanted to come back, and you know, I played my last game. We played against Florida in the Citrus Bowl, and I ended up, you know, killing that 13, 185, and 3. It's the craziest thing. I ended with what I started with. Like
I was about to say, like spring game to your last game. That's wild.
The same exact numbers. So that's I pick up the phone and I'm like, yo, you know, I'm just gonna go pro. And my mom was like, baby, you don't gotta do this for me. I'm gonna be all right. I'm like, no, it's the right thing to do. My mom and my brothers had already got evicted out of where they was living at. So my mom was living with my grandma in Pecan Gardens. And like my mom did, you know, she was living with her mom, you know what I mean? And, you know, in a bad situation. So that's why I left, you know, nothing more, nothing less. I would have liked to stay, but a kid is having a dream to get to the NFL, and like you see the door, you can see the door right there.
Yeah, right like, there. Yeah.
I'm like, do I want to be selfish enough? Do I want to be selfish enough to do all these great things, and you know that I want to accomplish Rose Bowl and all that, or you know, or do I risk it by going out and getting injured? I'm already a top 10 pick, so what am I supposed to do? And you know, I just made the decision based off of you know how my mom and her situation was, and it was crazy. And I thought I was the best receiver in the draft that year, but you know, Peter Ward was a dog in college, man.
Yeah, he was a national treasure, man.
I mean,
down here where I'm from, down in South Florida. But I want to go back. I want to go back a little bit though, because I don't think that's really spoke on or talked about enough. I know it's talked about, but as far as like real life experience. So when you are that player, that's all, because I went far from home from college. I'm from South Florida. I went up to UConn. So I was far from home, but I didn't have a situation at home where I felt the pressure, the stress, like, oh man, I'm leaving, you know, mom Duke's out to dry, or I'm far away from home chasing my dream, but, you know, my family at home, you know, in a certain situation that they want to get out of. Like, mom and dad together, they was holding down, whatever. So I didn't feel that pressure. So for you who kind of felt that pressure, even while you was playing, how does that affect, I guess, your psyche and what's going on as the person, as the man, and as an athlete?
Man, you know what? I mean, you know, as being a kid, man, having to make those decisions, and having to make those decisions, you know, based off of you know what you think is right, where you want to go, where you want to be, and you know the position that your family's in at the time. You know, when I got to Michigan, and like it was my first game of the year, and it never really crossed my mind. It did, and I was like, yo. I'm like, yo, my mom would never be able to see me play because of how far I am.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my mom had never been on a plane, and she was 40 some years old at the time. And it was a 13, 14-hour drive. And you know, looking back at it, if I could do it again, I probably, you know, I would have stayed more local, maybe like Virginia Tech or something like that, and stayed at home, just so, you know, she could be there to support me and to watch me play. But you know, I think my mom maybe saw me play 2 or 3 times in college, 3 at the most. But yeah, man, looking back at it, as a kid, you want to get as far away from home as you possibly can.
I was about to say it probably worked out better for you.
Yeah, that was
being that far from home.
Yeah, and you know, man, back in this was '96, in the ACC, Virginia and North Carolina, they weren't like real powerhouses like they are today. I mean, Florida State ran that division. Florida State was in the ACC back then. They was winning 10, 11 conference championships in a row. ACC football was not a big thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, you had the SEC, which I couldn't go, in the Big Ten. But I wish I could have stayed home, more local, and put all of those things together. You know, my mom's current living situation, you know, proximity to her and school and things like that. But I just wanted to, you know, go as far as I possibly can. And then, you know, my options was limited with me, you know, being a Prop 48. And you know, and not having the grades to go to those schools who were around me. Well, yeah, so that's how that happened.
Bet.
No,
so yeah,
that's dope.
So now I guess that. Man. Go ahead, bro.
No, go ahead, you got it.
Now I was just talking about so that combine process. You knew you felt like you was the best receiver in the draft. I'm sure you went around it when you that type of pick, you go around, the teams tell you, oh, yeah, if you're here, we're going to take you. If you're there. Yeah. So where did you think you were going draft night, and then how did it actually play out?
You opening up some wounds, man. I was tight, man. So I get down to the combine, so Peter Ward don't work out. So I'm like, well, I ain't working out. You know, Peter Ward working out, I ain't working out. So, you know, I caught a lot of slack for that, for going way down. And like, yo, like, who the hell you think you are? You ain't working out. I'm like, man, listen, I got a pro day in a couple weeks, whatever. Y'all have said that he ain't working out. I ain't working out. So dude was like, all right, man, listen, just whatever, just do something. I said, all right, whatever. So I step up to the line. This is like the second day. He was like, man, all you're gonna do is help yourself if you work out. My high school coach, yo, just go out there, just do something, please, just do something. I know what you thinking. You think you the best in that draft, which you are, but just show them something. I get up to the line, and once the coaches know I'm there, they like, yo, Burress, come to the front. So they say, yo, just run a 9 route. And guess who my quarterback is?
Same quarterback.
Tom Brady.
Oh shit! Okay.
Tom Brady, my quarterback. He like this. He ain't on nobody's radar then. So
I was about to say he was probably a combine arm at that point.
Yeah. So I get up there. You know, they like step on 15, accelerate. The ball should be up in the air, and you know he put the ball up, and I was like, man, you know, when the hell I'm gonna get to this ball? And I stepped on the X button, ran it down, and everybody was just like. I said, you know what? I'm done for today. Y'all don't need to see no more. No more. You run that ball down. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
That's what I do.
Yeah. So, you know, I know that I'm a top 10 pick. I go through the whole draft process, and you know, I go see the Baltimore Ravens. I go see the Cleveland Browns. They had number 1 pick and number 3. I go see the Baltimore Ravens. I go to Philly. I really wanted to go to Philly because Bubble Chuck was in Philly, which would have been crazy. They had
that'd have been crazy.
7 was Arizona and 8 was Pittsburgh. And so I get to Baltimore, which really, you know, kind of, you know, made me really upset about this whole process. And you know, during the I remember that pro day. Me and Jamal Lewis had the same pro day. And so when they hit the wide, it was like, yo, Jamal Lewis just ran a 4.35. And we was like, who the hell is Jamal Lewis?
I didn't know he was rolling like that.
Rolling.
Jamal Lewis ran like a 4.35 at his combine.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore had the 5th pick. I go to Baltimore, and Ozzie Newsome was a brother.
Yeah.
He's like, yo,
Yeah.
if you had the 5th pick, I'm taking you. If ands or buts about it. I'm like, all right, cool. So one go by, Courtney Brown, LeVar go 2, LeVar Arrington go 2.
Mm-hmm.
Go 3. I forget who went 3. Peter Ward go 4. Jamal Lewis go 5 to Baltimore. So I was tight. I said,
Right.
yo, man, that man just looked in my face and just told me out lie, yo. I'm like, what kind of shit is that, man? You look in my face and just tell me a lie? I was like, all right. So I had no idea after that. So I was like, yo, I'm going to Philly. Oh, man, Chuck there. It's all good. Because I had been to Philly to see the team, but they take Corey Simon. Deep from Florida State.
Deep tackle, yeah.
And I'm like, okay. I knew Arizona wasn't going to take him because they had just drafted David Boston.
David Boston, right.
A year before me. So I knew they wasn't going to take a wide receiver. They took T.J. Thomas Jones. So I got to Pittsburgh. I know nothing about Pittsburgh.
And the quarterback out there at the time was who?
In Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Cordell Stewart.
That's what I figured, yeah. Yep.
So when I got drafted to go 8, I was like, I knew nothing about Pittsburgh. And, I landed there. And it was just, I was confused, lost, everything. I knew, man, it was just a process. It all happened so fast that
wild range of emotions. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So you were upset, but you just elated, you excited, you happy. You know that everything that you work for, it finally happened. Now you can provide for your family, all those different emotions. Mm-hmm. And it's like, all right, let's get to playing football. But that whole process, man, was just for a kid, going through all of that. It was a special time, man. And I wish I would have, appreciated it more, going through it, during that time. But yeah, man, that whole combine and all of those things, man, it was just it's something.
Yeah, that's a crazy. I feel like everybody could write a book with their story, but your story crazy though. that's a journey, right? And that's just getting to the league.
That's just getting there, man.
Yeah. So shit, your rookie year, man. Like how was that process? How was that transition, man? Coming from Michigan State, having a year left, and then like you say, top 10 pick. So high expectations coming in. Like how was that transition? Early. Yeah, that got early. So how was that transition your rookie year out there?
Man, it was crazy because I when I came in, they just gave me the playbook. There was nothing there or nobody really there to really kind of mentor me into the position. It was just, hey, go to playbook, you our guy, let's get to it, let's do it. I'm like, damn. And looking back at it from a physical standpoint and mentally, I really wasn't ready for what I was getting ready to get myself into.
Mm-hmm.
Just meanwhile, I'm 3 years removed from high school, basically. I played 2 years of college football where I just, I dominated just for 2 years. I had never really been through any adversity playing any football because I was just so much better than everybody in high school and college. In college, I averaged 100 yards a game for 2 years. I mean,
high school had 18 touchdowns, 24 catches as a sophomore.
You averaged 100 yards a game in college, and when you get to the pros, like I had never really been in situations to where one of my biggest adjustments was I never had to make tough catches in traffic because I was always just open. I could go up and get the ball and where the guys couldn't. And I was just always, my separation in college was 3, 4, 5 yards where it was just boom, pitch and catch. But then when I got to college, man, dudes in my back pocket, they, getting the arm through. So I struggled because I had never been, had contested catches on a regular basis. And I think that whole adjustment of it from a playing standpoint, it took me like a year just to, get through that, to be able to be consistent, to make plays, down in and down out, because it was something that I had never experienced. And from a physical standpoint, you got to understand where I was, this was 2000. So it was Damani Dawson, Jerome, Levon Kirkland, Jason Gilden. You're talking about
that AFC North too.
He do got that land lumber, man.
Some grown men.
Yeah, these ain't the new. These ain't the 2020 rules that we see now either.
Man,
so it was
come across the line, get back up. Hey man, find your mouthpiece. Let's go. It's back then, and we playing on artificial turf. I'm playing in Philly. It's just, man, it was a whole different breed of football. Ain't no run across the middle and defensive receiver. None of that.
Right.
You better bite down on that mouthpiece. Make sure you get up with your teeth.
That's real. You kind of touched on it too, not having that, not having a mentor early, kind of take you on the wings and help show you the ropes. That's a huge transition.
But going back to that, man, I will say this, man. Courtney Hawkins, who is now the wide receiver coach at Michigan State, Mel Tucker brought him in with him. We ended up signing Courtney Hawkins, who was also went to Michigan State and played wide receiver. And I never been in a situation to where like I needed mentorship to play the position.
Yeah.
And I, they started I was struggling, my rookie year. They brought him in midway through the first season or whatever. And this man like really took me under his wing and showed me the ropes, how to play this position. And they also, I attribute to a lot of my success to Courtney and Terrence Mathis, because they gave me like the knowledge of playing a position and understanding a position. I was a different breed, a cat, back then. Moss had came in a year before me. So now you're seeing these dudes who 6'5", 6'6", running around crazy. It was something that a lot of people hadn't seen during that time. So our game was different. And man, these kids, man, they really took me under their wing, man, showed me the ropes of the position and how to play it and how to play it for a long time. And look, man, everybody can play, everybody can play football against zone. He said, but if you can beat man-to-man coverage, man, consistently, you can play this game as long as you want to. And that was one of the things that I first learned to do so well was just, man, I'm going to find a way, I'm going to study, I'm going to beat man-to-man on a consistent basis. And then once I can get these cats to like start backing up, like, look, man, we can't guard them one-on-one. We got to run. So then it's just like pitch and catch. And I started, passing that same knowledge down to the young guys. I said, listen, man, if you can't get off a man-to-man in this business, you won't be here long.
Fact. That's a fact.
You will not be here long. So learn how to defeat man-to-man and line of scrimmage, bump and run, and then you can start working on everything else. So, yeah, man, Terrence Mathis and Courtney Hawkins, man, if it wasn't for them, man, there's no telling, where my career, would have went, because they were just so instrumental in just teaching me finer points of the position that, it just helped my, play flourish and me going out and doing what I was doing.
Yeah. So your second year, you went over a rack, right?
Yeah, I went over 1,000 my second year. My first game of my rookie season, I broke my wrist.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so I broke my wrist. I done went through all that. I done went through sleeping on the floor, the whole prop thing. And I get to my first game as a professional wide receiver. We're playing the 2000 Baltimore Ravens, by the way. Ray fresh out. They got a D. Oh, I said they got a D.
Yeah.
They got who they got? They got Michael McQuarrie, Peter Bolwell,
McAllister there, Chris McAllister out there.
Chris McAllister, D. Starks, Rod Woodson, everybody. Jamie Sharper, they loaded.
Yeah, the boys had
they loaded. They started us out like 17-0. It's my first game. I'm like, yo, these boys out here hitting so hard. I wish I played basketball. I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
I know that shit was different.
You had never seen nothing like this because you get to the line of scrimmage. Like we done been through the preseason. You play a couple snaps or whatever, but it's like a game. I remember the first one. I'm like, oh yeah, my mom here. It's my first game. I'm finna go out here and do something bad to these boys. I get to the line of scrimmage on the first play, and they say hike, and I'm like, what the hell just happened?
Forgot the route, all that shit.
Yo, man, everything happened so fast. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, like, shit. Preseason one thing, that real season.
Yeah, I had to get myself together, and I was like, yo, this a whole nother speed of the game. I had never seen it before.
Yeah.
It was like hike, and it was like,
I'm here.
What the hell just happened? That play happened that fast, and it was like, oh man, we got shut out. But yeah, man, I broke my wrist on the last play of the game. Our first pro football game against the Winning Star. Broke my wrist.
So what year was it for you when you was like, all right, I'm here and I'm gonna be a problem for a few years? Like you said, your first year you struggled. Like what year was it for you when you was like, man, shit, I'm Plax, you know what I mean? And boys got to deal with me.
Yeah. I think going into my third year after after I went on the 1,000 yards in my second season, I said, I can get a lot better. I think I led the league in drops with like 15 drops that year. And it was kind of, I had a broken wrist coming back to my second year. So, I had to learn how to catch all over again. I had tore like my scapho lunate, broke.
Oh, yeah, I did that.
Yeah, and I got three screws through the side. So, I'm like, man, if I can't catch the ball, I don't have a job. You know what I mean? So that's playing on my mind. I'm getting booed. Everything's going on. I got my wrist taped up. I never played with this wrist brace on. But I had had 1,000 on my second season. And I said, yo, man, I just got to, catch the ball more consistently. I knew that I had the speed and, the feet to be able to, compete with anybody line of scrimmage, defensive backs or whatever. But, I just kind of just took it personal. Like, look, man, you just got to catch the ball, whatever it may be, however we got to do it. And I fucking took that brace off, and I was like, fuck it, man, I can't play like this. So I just put a little tape on it and went out there and played, man. And, I think, after, my first 1,000-yard season, people started like pressing me more, like bumping, running me more. And so I was making a lot of big plays because we were like, listen, man, they going to walk up there and play you like this. This is why we brought you here. You got to go out here and win these matchups. And, me, Cordell, Tommy, we started to develop a little relationship. And, yeah, man, I think I led the league in yards per catch that year at 17 a walk. They only had like 70-some catches for like 1,300 yards. And like I thought I was going to the Pro Bowl. I'm like, yo, I got 1,300 yards on 70-some receptions. I'm getting 17 per catch, and I'm got like seven touchdowns. So this whole year was crazy because that was the same year that Marvin Harrison had went for like 143. Right, 143.
Yeah, that was a record.
Yeah,
is that still a record? Nah, Mike T just broke it. Right?
Yeah, Mike. So my whole justification of that year was, I deserved to go to the Pro Bowl. Was Marvin Harrison had 143 receptions for 1,600 yards.
And you had half of that.
78 receptions for like 13-24.
Yeah.
So he basically played a whole other season and only had 200 more yards than I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had about 70 more receptions than I did with only 200 more yards. And I'm like, y'all don't see I don't understand that?
Yeah.
How could you not understand that? And so after that year, man, I just went on a tear, man. I didn't make the Pro Bowl, and I was like, man, bump it. I'm just gonna go crazy on these boards. And yeah, man, that's when I really started to, see my potential, man, to really go out and dominate. After my third year, I was like, nobody should be able to stop me one-on-one. Hey, AB, man, I saw a tape the other day, man, when was that the same? Was you playing there?
Huh?
But you was playing?
What happened?
Nah, I won't. What year? What you talking about?
The 2006 game in the Meadowlands.
2006. That was my dog rookie year.
That was my rookie year. It's crazy because that was my first game, my first regular season game. And it's funny you was talking about how your first regular season game, how that shit went so fast. And I tell people to this day, because leading up to training camp, it was kind of one of them things where, because it was Bob Sanders, Mike Dawes, and myself. So it was going into that week where Coach Dungy was like, yo, we gonna start you, young boy. So I'm like, okay, word. So, that was the Manning Bowl, Peyton coming down.
Right.
And playing Eli. So it was like, I'm a rookie, so it's you, Jeremy Shockey, Tiki Barber, Brandon Jacobs and shit. So I'm like, woo, like this, it's about to be real, right? So all during the week, I'm like, yo, like as long as I don't got no MAs, like I'm good. Bro, that ball gets snapped, like it's cover 3. I'm like, man, what I got? I'm tripping out there. I'm like,
cover 3 your whole life.
My whole life.
Yo. Blacks come on, that shit get different.
Real.
It get different. So I remember Cato June was like, young boy, like, yo, just relax, yo. Like you good, like relax. But yeah, that was like my one of my like welcome to the NFL experience, yo. Cause it was like, again, it was like that first game I had butterflies the whole game. Like,
right.
And I was always the type of person like, yo, I needed the butterflies. That's when I knew I was ready to play. But, after that first hit or whatever, I'm good. But I had butterflies for 60 minutes, man. I'm like, yo, like what's going on? But
well, yeah, man. It's 60 minutes. I never had 60 minutes of butterflies. You just couldn't calm down.
I couldn't calm down, bro. And it was real. But that was a game though.
It was.
So that was the first. That was the opening game of the season.
06, yeah.
First game.
Oh
first
damn!
game.
It came out the game. My first game. I had T.O. Lee Evans, Fred Jackson. Was Marshawn still there? I don't know. Them boys had weapons. They ain't really have a quarterback. They had Trent Edwards at quarterback though. So that shit. Roscoe Paris was out there.
Roscoe Paris.
On Monday Night Football, but I was kind of trial by fire. Once I got in the training camp, I had Brady, Moss, Welker, Kevin Falk. Like I'm like, ooh, anything I see on Sunday, I'm straight. Huh?
Kevin was your first year.
Yeah. So we still have fees in the backfield, but yeah, that it ain't nothing like them first time the real lights come on and shit really going like real NFL speed. Like
like program.
I
back listening to people, they be like, "Oh man, how you do that shit? Man, take your ass out there and figure it out."
Real,
figure it out.
And it'd be crazy now, right? Because I'll be sitting watching the game. I might have a couple of my boys with me, and they be like, "Man, he's some shit." I'm like, "Look at here, man. Like this shit ain't easy at all. Like
you got
he garbage, man." Man, I be like, man, this shit is serious, man. Like these some grown ass men out here moving.
Grown ass
like,
men.
Like this ain't high school where like you said, we going both ways and whatever. Like it's top of the crop right here.
Yeah, it's a select for a reason.
That's a fact. So now, so you get to New York. So now you go from Pittsburgh, which is a, obviously a well-respected organization. It's crazy fan base. Now you go to New York. Obviously, that's a whole different ball game. Media wise, Martin. Now everybody, and then you with a man in two. How was that transition?
Oh man, I was an unrestricted free agent.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to Houston. I went to Carolina, and I went to Minnesota and the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to go to Houston because Dre was there.
Yep.
I sat down and had this conversation with Dre, and I'm like, yo, my agent was like, you should go to Carolina. I'm like, I'm not going to Carolina. I mean, you should go to Houston. Houston want to see you. I'm like, man, Dre got his own show down there.
Yeah.
I mean, he grooving. He already one of the top 3-4 in the league.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go there for. And then, the whole Carolina thing was like, nah, I really won't feeling that. I think, I don't even know who the quarterback was at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And, then I went to Minnesota, and Dante Culpepper was the quarterback. Mike Tice was the head coach.
Yep.
And Moss had just left and went to
Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Moss had just left and went to Oakland. And I'm like, man, I'm not coming up here.
After that,
and we just had 8-4 here, so
this man just obliterated the record. I'm not coming up here to fill issues. Are you crazy? And Pep was like, come on, dog. I need somebody to play with. I said, Pep, I'm not coming here, man. That man just went over here and just destroyed the whole
everything.
The whole field on fire forever.
Facts.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, and then they only wanted to sign me to a 1-year deal. And I was like, nah, man, I ain't with that. Anything can happen. And then Dante Culpepper go out there and he tears his whole knee up on the first game.
Yeah.
He tear everything, his whole knee. And I'm like, damn, Pep. But my whole decision at this time was, I was frustrated in Pittsburgh. I wanted to stay.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know, but Pittsburgh offered me the same exact deal that the Giants did.
Mm-hmm.
So, but me, I was an ex-wide receiver. And, me and Hines had just went for like 2 1,000-yard seasons in a row. So people were starting to really pay attention to what we were doing. And we had just lost 2 AFC championship games to Tom Brady in Pittsburgh. And I'm like, man, I got to get out of the AFC. You can't beat Tom Brady. If I want to get a chance to win a chip, I got to go to the NFC because this, like, you couldn't beat the Patriots. Then
you couldn't beat that. Yeah.
You just couldn't beat them. They were just that good. And so I said to myself, I said, where can I go to where, I can put myself to complete a puzzle that's already, intact.
In place. Yeah.
So, and the first thing hit my mind, I was like, yo, man, if I want to get a double team off of me, off the backside of the X, I need a tight end. And the only tight end that was out there at the time, that a team that was interested was Jeremy Shockey.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yo, man, if I can get this cat right here, me and him can, do some damage because they can't double us both. Jeremy was already up there killing, drawing a double. Me, I'm back there in Pittsburgh. I was in the I formation. So people just roll up on us and play quarter, half on me, 44 choke or whatever you want to call it, and just completely take me out of the game.
Yeah.
So, it was a different time then. Bussy was getting the ball 30 times a game, different stuff like that. But I said to myself, I said, if Eli can be half as good as his brother, half as good as his brother,
you good money.
And I got a tight end. I got Tiki Barber and Amani Toomer. I'm like, I think we'll be all right. And that's why I made the decision to come here because, I had a tight end. I said, man, listen, I get a tight end going on the backside of that seam, and I'm on the front side, man. Sky's the limit. And that's exactly how the whole thing played out. But, I didn't want to leave Pittsburgh because, like we had a special team, man. We had a like, we look back at it right now, like we was kids, man. But it's about 8, 9 Hall of Famers on that team, man.
And shit, they ended up winning the bowl. Like
the year after I left.
They win the bowl.
I'm like, damn, them niggas was so good, they ain't even need me.
So you were the problem.
Yeah, I was a problem. I said, okay. Yeah, I got
to get me one.
I'm like, damn, I'm gonna leave and y'all gonna go get a chip. I was like, oh, okay. Word. Yeah, they gonna get that chip when I left. I said, well, damn, I'm holding y'all back.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
New York, man, and everything just kind of just took shape, man, and yeah, it was really the first time I had been in an offense to where, I was in a real like West Coast offense that it was just so many, variables to it, so many things that I could do that just kind of just took the shackles off my game, because I was in Pittsburgh. I was running the bang 8, I was running the fade, the dig route, and the slant, and that was basically it, because that's kind of who we was in. We was throwing the ball 16 to 20 times a game, maybe. Hines gonna get his 5. I'm gonna get my 5.
Mm-hmm.
You get your 6 or 7 opportunities. I mean, you're not gonna complete every pass, so you leave out of the game. 4 for 40, 4 for 50. But I'm like, oh, I get like two bang 8s, get me a big dig, break a tackle. Now I'm 3 catches sitting on 80 yards, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I had never been in an opportunity. I remember our first game, man, they threw me the ball like 15 times. I was like, damn, I had never experienced anything like that. I said, oh yeah.
I know you was like, oh yeah, this is it.
I do remember that. I think it was in the right end zone. Yeah. I think you had a 9 ball or something like that, or
I had
whatever.
I had to go.
Yeah, I tried to tee off on you.
You did. I saw it the other day.
Yeah. You caught it though. You held on to it.
Oh yeah, come on, man. The lights was on, man.
He old school, man. But he just bit his mouthpiece.
Hey, man, the lights was on, man.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking about the lights being on, obviously you're the play you probably most known for, that sluggo in the Super Bowl when y'all knocked off the undefeated Patriots. You said,
right.
When you was in Pittsburgh, it was so good, and obviously they had a dynasty, and that year was crazy. So like I actually saw you on the show with Master, what's his name, Master Test.
Master, yeah.
So you was talking about just that year, and you not even really being able to practice, and the injuries you had to deal with.
Yeah.
And then to kind of make that play, like what was that whole game? Because Antoine won the Super Bowl, been to 2. You don't want a Super Bowl. I never been in that space. So talk to me and the fans, people listening. Like, what was that whole? What was your mindset about on that stage in those moments?
Man, you know what? When you get that opportunity after you win that NFC Championship game or whatever it be, and it kind of clicks, like, damn, I'm going to the show. But after you celebrate, you like, man, we here now. But people forget about, you still got to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody going in for the festivities, kicking and have fun. You want to win the game. And when you get out there, man, and them flags or whatever and all that shit go up, man, I didn't feel my feet hit the ground for 60 minutes, man. It's that special of a feeling.
That's crazy.
You just playing on air for like the whole 60 minutes or whatever it may be, because it's so surreal that you living out a childhood dream like right in front of you, like it's happening like right here at this moment, and you can't let yourself get caught up in the whole thing. Like, oh man, I'm in the Super Bowl. I can't make no mistakes. I can't mess up, so on and so forth. But with it all being said, man, it was just, and us going into that last drive, or that whole drive, like, it never even crossed my mind that we wouldn't win that game, because man, I know I ain't gonna get all this far to get right here and not win. And you doing everything possible, humanly possible, physically, to be at the best that you can possibly be, whatever it may be. I don't know. AB may be able to attest to it, but I remember just being like second, third quarter, just coming to the sideline, just like, you like, damn, man, this is the most physical football game I've ever been a part of in my life. And I'm like, I'm running fast as I can. I cannot get open. Like, what am I supposed to do? And playing against the Patriots and our offense, and every single play, man, every I was dotted, every T was crossed. If the defense was playing cover 2, like the corners was chucking you at 5 or 6. If I had to go in and get the strong safety on an open side run, I'm trying my best, whatever I can do to get them on the ground. Like, nobody was missing no assignments. Yeah. If I had a 12-yard curl, I was standing on 12. I wanted 9.5 or 10. I was on 12.
Mm-hmm.
It was that mental that everybody was doing exactly what they were supposed to be doing as hard as they possibly could. And that's what I take away from the game. I'm like, yo, man, the game was so sound that there was nothing more that you could have possibly done, like on a certain play, to have a better result other than, to drop a ball or to, drop a pick. And I remember Steve Smith caught a ball over the middle. He gets stripped. He loses the ball. Steve Smith is a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so Mike Sullivan calls me. He said, yo, man, go talk to the young fella, just make sure he don't go in the tank on us. And, they used to always call me to talk to the young cats. And I'm like, I said, all right, I got you. I hang the phone up and I look at him and I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to say to him? We're in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You think he meant to fumble the football?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What am I going to possibly say to this young man as a rookie, knowing that he just fumbled in the Super Bowl to make him feel worse?
Right.
That's nothing I can say to him.
Next play, young fella. Let's go.
Next play,
He gonna have to fight that mentally. I hope he don't go on the tank, but there's nothing I can tell him. Like,
yeah.
There's nowhere to go after this. This is it. But yeah, man. But getting back to that, that drive and that touchdown, and just watching the film and studying, Hobbs and his technique and just knowing exactly what it was going to do, man. It was just, it was just an unbelievable thing.
Y'all knew they was going to be in that look.
I didn't know they was going to be in that look at all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if y'all had an opportunity to watch the Spike Lee produced a short movie about 3 or 4 years ago at the Tribeca Film Festival. It's called The Greatest Catch Ever. So,
okay, gotta check that out.
It's online. It's myself, David Tyree, his helmet catch, and that was the same year that Odell made the whole one-handed catch. And it's called like Greatest Catch Ever, or all 3. But they interviewed Rodney Harrison about the call that was made. The defensive call that was made.
Mm-hmm.
So when the call came in, this is Rodney just speaking. The call came in, he went up to the late great Junior Seau, and he was like, "Yo, Junior, we gotta change this call." And Junior looked at him like, "Yo, man, I can't change the call, man. This man, the Super Bowl. Trust me, if there was like week 3 or week 4 in the regular season, 1 o'clock game, he would have changed the call."
I done been on the field, buddy. He definitely changing the call.
yeah. But in the Super Bowl, it coming from the coach, and like it's nut cutting time. He's like, "Man, I can't change this call." And Rodney knew that. Rodney said that once the call, he didn't change the call. Like he knew that like the game was over because he knew that Ellis Hobbs wasn't going to be able to check me what we had going on. But I used to always, as a receiver, I used to watch because inside of 20 was where I made my money.
Mm-hmm.
I can change the whole complexity of a game and an offense to the defense to where they just really focus on me on the edge that we can just do whatever we want to on the front side. If I got 2, 3 over here, we good to go. I'm cool with that.
Yep.
So, you know, I used to study a lot, you know, because my rules change with my routes is versus, you know, if I'm inside of 20, if I'm 20 and out, I'm 7-step. If I'm 15 and in, then I'm a 5-step. If I'm 10 and in, then I'm on a 3-step route. And you know, routes coming at the same, but you and the quarterback got to be on the same page and knowing exactly where y'all are. So, you know, he not throwing a 3-step slant and I'm on a 5-step.
Yeah.
You know, something like that. So I used to always study defensive backs, how they would play, what were their technique, you know, at closer they got to the goal line, because I know that when I get in the 15, we throwing a couple fades.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna have to go over there and defend it. If you put one man over there, we throwing a couple phases inside the 20. That's just it.
Got to. Yeah.
So every time Ellis Hobbs would, you know, for the sometime, and when the offense got to the 10-yard line, when they jumped in zero, he would back up. He would back up inside, and he would stop his feet on the goal line. So you know, I done watched this. You do this, you know, over and over and over. And I had just played against him week 16 in the Meadowlands, and he did the same exact thing, but he batted the ball down. He ended up making the play. Ball's a little behind, but he made the play. And we get to the same position, and I look up and I'm like, oh shit, I can't believe they ain't cover zero again. And I was like, man, if this thing is true to form, like I done seen them do, he is going to back up to the goal line and he's going to stop his feet. And I'm going to come out of here. I'm going to come out the block so fast that he's not even going to have a chance to make up his mind on what he want to do, because I ain't even going to stop running. I'm going to just run right by him. And as sure his last name was Hobbs, he stopped his feet right on the goal line, just like I had been watching him do on tape the whole entire time. And it was just, it happened just like that when I was at the line of scrimmage, just knowing exactly what he was going to do.
That's crazy, man. See, hey, y'all listening, y'all watching, the details that go into this shit is crazy, man. And then it all comes down to making one of the biggest plays in football history. Keep it real, but man, that's
the shit that you don't see, the film study. You know what I'm saying? The stuff
game within the game.
Yo, so you know, hey, listen. Now, you know, they give you iPads and shit to take home. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa. You ain't got to burn them DVDs.
Yeah, we had DVDs, VHS. Hey, I still got VHS in the house.
It's crazy.
I ain't that old. I ain't had the VHS in the league.
You sure? You might have got 1 year with the VHS.
Chill out, D-Butt. It was on DVDs, baby.
Yeah, I remember. That's still here, man.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, that's how it was bringing down tape on the iPads and sending you the link so you can watch. Nah.
Yeah.
What's crazy is a lot of cats probably still watch more film back in the day than they watch it now. And as easy as it is, it's crazy. Me and my man Ty be talking about it all the time, man. As we got older, shit, getting them iPads, shit, you could be on the shitter watching film for 20 minutes, you know, watch something in the bed. Like it's so easy and convenient for you to be overly prepared for games. There ain't no excuse to go out there and not know what the hell got going on.
At all.
Being that you say that, when we talking about like the younger players and, you know, watching film and, you know, all of those things, you know, I had a chance to, you know, play with Antonio Brown for those 2 years in Pittsburgh, 2012 and 2013. And also when OBJ was here in New York, you know, the wide receiver coach and team, they used to let me into the meetings on Fridays for the wide receivers. And, you know, just sitting there, you know, breaking down tape with them. And, you know, just like, listen, man, if you're on a 12 or 13, if you're on a 12 or 15-yard curl, you know, the last 5 yards of your route, it's like, you know, how many steps does it take for the cornerback to get out of his break to break on your curl? If it takes him 4 steps to get out of his break, you need to be out of yours in 3.
Yeah.
You know, just little things like that. But I also realized like there was no real detail going into teaching them, you know, is he a two-hand jam guy? Is he an inside jam guy? Is he an outside hand guy? Is he hips to the sideline? How does he play man coverage when he's out there by himself? Different things like that. And you like, yo, man, sitting down with OBJ and Antonio, and it's the same thing. It's like, yo, these dudes are so gifted. The things that they are doing out there on Sundays is they just doing off of just raw talent.
Yeah, a lot of it.
Yeah.
They're not taking anything away from them. I love both of them to death, but these guys are so fast and they so gifted, like so quick at the line of scrimmage and the ball catching skills is that they don't sit down and watch 2-3 hours of a film. They can be like, oh, yeah, I got him. I can outrun him. I'm like, yo, you so good. Yo, you ain't even got to watch film.
Yeah.
But it just goes back to like the generation of the athlete is just, I say, yo, man, if I could run like that, with breaking this down and put that all together.
Sky the limit.
These boys evolved, man.
You are blessed, young man. You are blessed.
Hell yeah, man. Hey, man. It's been great, man. Appreciate you joining us, man. I know you got a role. What you got going on now, man? We was talking off air about your show and stuff. What you got going on now? Tell the people.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we just started a podcast 2 Saturdays ago. Every Saturday at 1 p.m. Fox Sports Radio with LeVar Arrington, TJ Houshmandzadeh. Call Up on Game. We go live every Saturday at 1. Got to get you guys on the show, man. No doubt.
Definitely.
Sure.
And working on some different things, man. From an entrepreneurial standpoint, man, and getting the juice bars open and running here in West New York and in New Jersey, doing some different things. And crazy thing is, my boy Jaru owns the New York Stars, which is the WFLA. It's the Women's Professional Football League, which is starting up here at the end of the year. And I'm the general manager for that. So for our team. So it's 11-on-11. It's professional football, basically what the WNBA is to the NBA. So it's 11-on-11 professional tackle football. The women are getting paid. They're excited. We just had our first draft about a month and a half ago. I actually drafted this girl from Germany, a wide receiver. She was crazy excited. You're like, man, imagine how that feels.
Coming from Germany, that's wild.
Yeah, coming from Germany.
All right, now we gonna keep track of your moves, man. Your managerial services are like, so we definitely gonna keep track.
I'm a great evaluator of talent. You know what I'm saying?
we had a team down here in Miami. We still got a team down here in Miami.
Yeah. So
I watched them. They be playing. They play, son.
Yeah, all those leagues are coming together, man. It's gonna be exciting. We all looking forward to it, man. And whatever, man. Y'all just reach out. I'm here. Holla at me. I'm gonna get with y'all, man, and get y'all on the show too. So it's a national. So anything y'all want to promote, it's gonna be a good thing.
That's a bet, man. Appreciate you.
Appreciate that, bro.
Plex the GM. All right.
The GM, y'all hold it down.
Yep.
All right. Yeah.
Man, there you have it. Plaxico Burress, man, Super Bowl champ, 757 legend, Michigan State alum. You go check him out, like you said, the GM. What do you call it? What is it though?
I think it was a New York Star.
The New York Stars. Go check him out. Go check out his podcast, like you said, him, LeVar Arrington, TJ Houshmandzadeh. Every Saturday, 1 o'clock. Again, man, another episode. The Man Pod. I'm Antoine Bethea. My man D-Buck camera went out again.
Nah. We over here chilling, man. But yeah, appreciate y'all, man. Okay. Subscribe, like, tell a friend to tell a friend. Yeah, man, we out, man. Camera just resting right now.